I love you. I'm going to make a video about the human experience, this place, why it exists, and I'm going to talk about some of the information that is true and distorted. The actual reason why I'm making this video is because I was watching a video on Pink Tourmaline's channel, and he was sort of trying to discredit Darius J. Wright and some of his information, and I found myself wanting to correct him, wanting to go in the comment section and explain where he was misinterpreting or misunderstanding, even call him out for possibly, being part of the disinformation movement or discrediting people. There were so many feelings that I brought to the surface because I could tell he had never studied some of Darius's teachings, and he was still talking that Darius was maybe offering information that was distorted. Now, Darius J. Wright, I found him about a year or two ago. I was doing a massage on a client, and I was just speaking my truth through my filter, based upon my experiences and my understanding of this realm, this construct, its purpose, and all of that. And this lady, she said, wow, have you heard of Darius J. Wright? The things you're speaking of, that's the same stuff he speaks of. And she says, I've never heard of anybody else speak the way he does until I heard you talk. And I said, no, I never heard of him. So I've researched him for the past 1 or 2 years. He doesn't have a lot of content, but I really like what he says and what he offers. And he gathers his information by leaving his body. It's like a near-death experience, but it's intentional. It's something that he does on purpose, consciously, leaving the body and leaving this construct, looking back upon it, talking to guides and different beings, and trying to come up with an understanding of what this place is, its purpose, and whatnot. So that being said, definitely follow Darius J. Wright's information. I would say Rudolf Steiner, Edgar Cayce, Darius J. Wright. I would even say G.G. Young. I would follow Dark Journalist as far as not just this realm's purpose for the soul, but what's actually true about our history in this realm. You'll find that through Dark Journalist. Okay, so what I want to say is this realm was created for the soul to experience that which is not real. That being said, if I ever refer to home, that just means that's where your soul came from, that's where your soul goes to, and that's what you could call baseline reality. You could even call it heaven, because it's the closest thing to the description that we all know through religious texts and understandings about what heaven is, which is just bliss, unconditional love, and unity and connection with Creator. Okay, so you could imagine like baseline reality is like Main Street. We've all have a Main Street in our town or city, and each building along Main Street was created by the owner of that business, and you could look at that as a construct. So it was constructed for the experience that it holds. Some of the buildings are going to be a coffee shop or a massage studio, or create your own art, or a law office to meet an attorney, or a bike shop, right? So you're going to have these different experiences when you walk into these businesses, and they were all created by individual people to have this certain energy exchange and this offering. Okay, so there's constructs that were built by souls to have different types of experiences, and your imagination is the limit onto what these different constructs can hold. Well, this construct we call Earth was designed by 13 souls to experience that which is not real. So home is basically like a sunny day, and a sunny day is awesome, but if you've never experienced a rainy day, sunny day is still going to be awesome, but a sunny day is going to be even that much more awesome as soon as the rainy day is over. I hope that makes sense. And that's basically what this place holds. You can come here, you can forget who you are, and you can build up and eventually remember who you are, which is just the one fractalized to look upon itself and better know itself and all aspects of itself through this seemingly separated experience, which this realm allows for the perception of individuals to be witnessed and to be experienced. So we came here, this rainy day experience, so knowing it's temporary, we're going to go back to the sunny day and we'll have a deeper, richer appreciation for that, more so than even the souls that have never incarnated as a human. It's still going to be a beautiful sunny day and it's going to be gorgeous and fun, but we'll have that experience under our belt of that which is not real. Okay, so there's a lot in that last video that I spoke of on pink tourmaline where he just wasn't understanding and grasping. And I'm putting this video out into the field because I was like, I'm not going to go in the message section and talk shit and correct his mistakes. I'm just going to put this into the field and that'll balance it out. And I'm coming from a place where I have this knowing through remembering, through experience. I've been so damn disciplined for probably 11 years. No TV, no meats, no cheese, fasting 15 hours a day, drinking a gallon of water, remaining in service to humanity as often as possible, focused on my breath work, focused on cleansing and clearing the body and the mind, and just trusting that as long as I show up in love, in service, that all my needs will be taken care of. And I'm just not cared about my wants. You know, my wants are irrelevant in this realm. I've told a lot of people, you know, if you knew you can make the world a better place if you just donated your energy and your time in service and in love for 24 hours, would you do it? And they said, hell yeah. Well, I know I'm an eternal being, and I know that Dustin, this incarnation, is a day in the life of my eternal self. And so I was like, okay, fine, I will just give up, you know, all of the fleshly desires and pleasures of being human, and I will be disciplined and sacrifice, you know, my wants, knowing that my needs are always met, even if they're uncomfortable, even if it's lonely, even if it's challenging or heavy. Just keep coming back to just love, and that's loving myself, loving my dogs, loving whoever's in front of me. My sole mission is whatever's in front of my face. If that's making a cup of coffee for somebody or getting somebody safely from A to B as a Lyft driver, that's my sole mission. But there's a lot of misunderstandings about this soul trap or this reincarnation cycle, and there's a lot of people that think that this place is a trap, and it's a dumpster fire, but it's not a trap. It's painful, it's overwhelming, it's uncomfortable, but it's not a trap. It's just like some humans choose tomorrow to wake up and to go swimming with the sharks or to jump out of an airplane. And to some humans, that's fucking crazy to have that choice and that experience, right? They want to be comfortable. They want to be Netflix and chill. They don't want to be scared or overwhelmed or in a potentially dangerous situation. Well, some souls, like you and me, chose to come to this dumpster fire of a construct, knowing that when we get to the other side, we're going to have a deeper, richer appreciation for that which is real. So we are not coerced into coming here. We do not get sent back without our consent. Now the thing is, too, we are the spark within us, not Dustin in the flesh, but the soul, the energy, the eternal essence that's the energy animating this body. That there's no power that's above and beyond that. Not Yahweh, Allah, Jesus, Yeshua, not Buddha, not Shiva. That's not a thing. We're all aspects of the one, the source, the creation, the all, you know. And so when we cross over to the other side, if we regret the choices we've made or are shameful, or believe there's another power above us, whether that be Satan or not, that could influence us, judge us, or condemn us, then we will witness that, because the power of the belief system, we've been taught this in this construct as far as the placebo effect. I could hand you a pill, and if you believe me that I said this will cure whatever, it would cure whatever because you believed it to be so. So it goes beyond this construct as far as the power of the belief and the mind and the consciousness, because all there is consciousness, and all there is what you believe to be true. And whether you believe it to be true or not, you're going to witness that reality manifest in front of you. So you could cross over and you could believe you were a bad person, and you could basically condemn yourself to a hell. But because that power of yourself is so strong, that you could also save yourself by crying out to a power that you believe could save you, and then you'll witness that be manifested. So that being said, we were not tricked into coming here. We came here knowing how painful and awful this experience was, but also the potential of transmuting it into something better. You know, they say energy can't be created or destroyed. Now, there's a chance that that belief system isn't true, but I think it is, and I'm totally open to being wrong. I've been wrong a lot, and I've had to correct my belief systems. But the way I look at it is, we can change energy from good to bad, or we can change energy from bad to good. And I feel like a lot of us as souls look down at this realm and said, man, there is some transmutation that needs to take place. And why don't I sign up for a life that is, I'm offered a lot of lead. And I'm using this metaphor as far as the alchemization from lead to gold, or from shit to fertilizer, from bad to good, you know. And I think a lot of us said, you know what, hand me a pile of lead and I'm going to turn it into gold. And we do that with just responding in love and in grace and in faith and in service and in patience. And I think that we can bring this realm to what we could call heaven on earth. I mean, we literally have the blueprint for hell on earth. It's everything that we're doing or not doing now. And all we got to do is flip that coin over. We have the blueprint for heaven. We just do things differently, do the things that we're not doing, and don't do the things we're doing. And it's really, truly that simple. And then that alchemization can take place from transmuting this place into a dumpster fire, into a prison, you know, into a paradise. And it is possible. I do actually believe it to be true for myself and many others to experience that in our lifetime, this transmutation process, as they say, from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, or to old earth to new earth, or whatever it is, you know. And I do believe it is a restoration process. You know, this realm holds for the unseen factors to take place. I mean, if you were to go into like a fight, a boxing fight, a Muay Thai fight, or whatever, a mixed martial art, you would go in there thinking you're going to win and everything's going to be okay, but you could get your ass kicked, and you could have your nose broken and your jaw broken, and things could go wrong, or as not as planned, you know. And we came in here with certain goals and certain intentions, and there is a huge, my sweet baby girl, you love your daddy and I love you. There has been a lot of our missions and experiences have not happened, or been delayed, or been rerouted to other experiences more painful, you know, instead of doing something that we wanted to experience in a positive manner. You know, maybe we got our nose broken instead. And so this realm holds for things because of free will, and all aspects of the one are granted free will. We are going to run into what we would just label as hurdles or obstacles or unforeseen circumstances or unplanned events. We are eternal in nature, you know, and we can choose to come back to this realm and learn more and do over, or we could just continuously clean these vessels and these bodies, extend the life beyond, you know, what we would call natural, beyond the 80 and 90, 100 year mark, and we can transmute the energies here and now, and we can fulfill what the soul's dream and destiny and plan was, even with all of the unforeseen events stuffed into the experience. You know, it might take longer in the linear time than what we thought to be true, but all we have is time as an eternal essence, you know. I just feel that there's so much lacking of peace in the mind and the heart when people believe we're on a prison planet and we're being harvested of our loosh, and there's these reptilian entities that are just eating our despair, and there's all this stuff. You have to understand that, like, even if this has been turned into something similar to that, like, we've all seen all the movies in the world that portray the divine masculine, which doesn't have to be a boy, going and rescuing the princess, and it looks like a suicide mission. If you're going to believe there's a prison planet that's harvesting the souls and keeping us from going back to source and looping in this reincarnation cycle, you have to understand, okay, there's bad. Okay, well, there's fucking good too. And there's good beings, whether they be humans or aliens or extraterrestrials, and there are many that are more than willing to go on a suicide mission, and to save the princess in the castle at all cost, so no matter what it is, we're not doomed forever. That's just not a thing. Eventually we will be saved, and that goes back to another important part, is no one's coming to save us. It's us that are saving ourselves, and we're not as limited in our capabilities to save ourselves or the planet or the plants or the animals, or this realm. So there's so many moving parts, but I just want everybody to be empowered, knowing that we are not alone. The unseen forces are much stronger than the seen forces, and we need to invite help and guidance and assistance and welcome in the positive energies of healing and truth and upliftment. And it's just one day at a time, one breath at a time, one act of service at a time. And sometimes that act of service is for the self, we got to fill up our cup and then pour it out. You know what I mean? It's not about continuously pouring out, and it's not about continuously pouring into yours. It's a continuous cycle. It's not always day, it's not always night, it's not always giving, it's not always receiving, it's not always active, it's not always passive. So that's where that balance comes into play. So I could keep going, and I think this is enough for now. I just wanted to get this out. I just wanted to react and respond, like I said, to this video I saw on this channel called Pink Tourmaline, that it really did trigger me. It really bummed me out that this guy didn't do his research, but he's going to talk bad about this person. And this person I hold in such a high regard as far as a truth teller. I mean, he has experienced and reports back on the same truths that my inner self has known and remembered, for lack of a better word. And so I know his intentions are pure. I don't know if the intentions are pure from this Pink Tourmaline guy, but I just wanted to put this out into the field to kind of bring balance to what was being brought into the field on his end of the spectrum. I welcome any comments and any feedback, and I just want you all to know that you're doing great. Heaven is so proud of you, and I'm not just saying that to make you feel good. Like, it's a literal, actual thing that you have your ancestors, you have angels, you have beings, you have conscious entities that are literally just in shock with how amazing we are doing. And you in particular, for sure, whoever's seen this, like, I know this to be true. If you're guided to these types of messages, I just want you to know, just stick in there, just stay in there, be patient with the process, and just trust that all the energies that you're putting out, it's a boomerang. All of your thoughts, all of your actions, all of your intentions, it's a boomerang. That negative karma, it'll hit pretty fucking quick. That positive karma, it seems to like intertwine itself with faith and patience, and the reward, the return of the boomerang, it's not instantaneous. It does sometimes take a month, a year, a decade, but we're not doing it for that. We're doing it because it's the highest, most authentic version of the self, beyond through the filter of the traumatized human. I love and appreciate you. And that's all I really want to say for now. And I hope the best for you. And I hope the best for me. And I hope your night is peaceful. God bless.